Hey everybody, I'm back again with another video. This time I just wanted to recap some of my recent baseball card PSA graded pickups. Starting here on the left with this iconic set, the 1952 Topps. I got a Billy Pierce here and an excellent 5. As always, centering is an issue on that set, and this one's no different. But solid 5, and Billy Pierce, 7-time All-Star, great player to have. Then I picked up a couple nice high-quality near mint 7 commons from the 57 set. Of note, the 57 set is the first time that Topps used that color photography for the full image there instead of having some painted backgrounds and stuff. This is the first time they did that. And additionally, it's important because this is the first time they went to that standard 2.5 by 3.5 inch card that we see today as the current standard. So these 3 commons. Of the 4 of these cards, the highlight would probably be, in my opinion, this Charlie Neal. Shows him there at Ebbets Field, got the cool Schaefer sign in the background. And Charlie Neal was a really solid player, 2-time All-Star. Eventually, when the team did move to Los Angeles, Charlie was their regular second baseman there when they made that transition. He was, as I said, a 2-time All-Star. In '59, that team that went on to win the World Series beat Billy Pierce on the Chicago White Sox. He had 2 home runs, I believe, in Game 2, so he was a key contributor on that championship team. He was an All-Star that year in '59, won the Gold Glove as well. All-Star again the next year in 1960, and then his career kind of fizzled out, and he was out of the league at age 33, which, if you look back historically, was not uncommon back in those days when players really weren't making all the big bucks that they were today, and the strength training wasn't really an issue as it is today. Always like to get 1960 Topps if I can get them in a high quality grade, and this Rip Coleman is no exception. A nice near mint 7. Rip Coleman, Hall of Fame name, not a Hall of Fame player. Not very good, but still a cool card. This guy down here is a Hall of Famer, this 1960 Harmon Killebrew Topps. Cool card. I am starting to collect Killebrew. So I've had intentions to get this card since I started collecting again back in 2011. And I've been sidetracked and never got around to getting it, or would always see it and thought it was too much. So I just bit the bullet and finally picked it up. A nice little card from the 60 set. These 3 cards right here are a little different. They're from the 1961 baseball card, new card scoops, they're called. So they combine 3 things that I love: sports, history, and baseball cards. So if you look at the cards, they are basically like a newspaper clipping. If I can focus in. That Warren Spahn is commemorating his September 16th achievements of, there you go, September 16th, 1960. He rolled a no-hitter, striking out 15. Then here, this Killebrew, cool card of him, showing him with that lumber, talking about his spring training back in March of 1960. And then early win, talking about him beating the Yankees back in a 1954 game. So these are inexpensive cards. Usually you can get them in decent grades. Near mint to mint 8's not difficult with the white edges, and the fact that the centering on these cards is fairly decent. Still, though, not nearly as popular as the 60 Topps set, but a cool one to have. Oh, another interesting thing, this set starts at card, I think, 401. So all these seem like, when you see like the card 449, there's not 400 plus cards in this set. It's I believe it's just an 80 card set, if I think memory serves me correct. Okay, on to this Willie McCovey card, 63 post serial. It's a VG3, but once again with these post serial cards that were probably most often not cut by kids. The back on this one is the issue. This looks really nice for a VG3, but the back has got some glue stains on the back. Since these were on the back of cereal boxes, when the manufacturer would put the bag of cereal inside the inner box, sometimes they would glue it in, and that could cause glue stains to happen on the backs of these. They're just brown backs, so nothing, it doesn't really detract from the appearance of the card up front, because everything you need to know is up front. There's nothing on the back, but still, just a VG3 on that. Here's, of the cards I've got, this is probably the one I'm most excited about. This 68 Topps checklist with the Juan Marichal from my Marichal collection. Just a little historical background. Topps would actually use these to promote the next series. So you can see this is talking about the second series, so it's kind of giving a preview to the kids, hey, this is what to go buy next, so you can get these cards. You'll notice this is card 107. Second series starts here with this Hank Aaron at 110, so you would assume this is a first series card. This one is not actually. So what Topps did is they would, like I said, they would promo the second series within the first series, but then they also double printed these cards to pack them in the packs with the second series. So this is actually a second series card. The only way you can tell that is because this is the thin mesh. All the first series cards have a fatter, wider mesh, and all the second series cards have this thinner mesh. So there's two variations of this card. This thin mesh is a little bit more desirable of the two. And they can be kind of pricey as well if you really look into it. So I got this on a buy it now at a decent price and really excited about it. And I've been looking at this one for a couple years. Globe Imports, Harmon Killebrew, nothing spectacular, low eye appeal on these. But if you do collect PC, these guys, like I do Killebrew now, these cards are very inexpensive and you get them at a nice grade. But at the end of the day, they're not a lot there going on, just black and white images with a blank white back on those playing cards. On to something a little cooler, the 62 Topps in action with this Willie Mays. Looks like he's sliding into third here. I've been willing to pick this up in a 6, but I found it at a near mint 7 and had to put a decent bid on it and got it, and really happy to have it to the Mays collection. And then 74 Topps. This is the year that Topps put the All-Star cards. They would put both the American and National League players on the same card. The thing that amazes me in this card is that Hank Aaron, it's 74, right? Or I guess it would probably be from 73. But you're talking at, this is 20 years after his career started. He's an All-Star. Just a testament to the player that he was and the longevity and quality of career that he had. And then a 76 Topps card here commemorating the 75 World Series. Love that it shows Carlton Fisk after that historic Game 6 home run to extend the series. You've got Pete Rose in there. You got like Tony Perez rounding the bases after a home run and Louis Tiant pitching. So just a really cool imagery on that 76 Topps World Series card. Then here is another card. I'm not really a Jim Hunter collector, but the 79 Topps Jim Hunter. If you can get these 79 Topps, these Hall of Famers that are nicely graded, I pick them up every chance I get. I have this set raw, and the centering is just atrocious, to put it bluntly. So got this one nicely centered. That's what drew me to collecting or to buying this card. And then bundled this card, this Pete Rose, Milton Bradley from '84. Nothing spectacular, but I do have a nice little Rose collection, and since I can combine shipping on it with some other cards, I threw it in, put a bid on there, and won it. Which is kind of the similar story here with this 90s All-American Don Mattingly. It's a special 24 card set. Never saw any of these when I was a kid collecting. It must have been a very obscure subset, but I looked up, did a little research on it. Not an expensive card, but this is what you'd call the 99-cent special, where I bought, won a couple other auctions, so bid on this one too, and combined the shipping. So all in all, paid maybe $1.50, $1.60 for this card. And I did collect Don Mattingly. Always used to run out to the curb to grab the paper when I was a kid to look at the Omaha World Herald, my local paper, to see his box score from the night previous. He would have been a Hall of Famer. Maybe he'd still be a Hall of Famer if he hadn't had the back injuries that curtailed his career. And then the last two items, and I'm not a big modern collector, but these are two vintage guys that I collect with some vintage bat piece and a jersey here from 2001 Topps Tribute. Some nice shine on here if I can get it to cooperate with me. Yeah, some nice little shine. The thing that's interesting on these is how thin they are. The casing is the standard thin case. Nowadays, most of these relic cards that we have that are come out are super fat, but these were nice and thin. And Lou Brock, Jim Palmer, two guys I do PC. So that's the explanation for that. Well, that about wraps it up. Once again, everybody, I do appreciate your posts and comments that you leave below, and I will talk to you again later. Bye.